So again, we were talking about how the picture warnings really work, but the U.S. doesn't really utilize these, but other countries do. So you look how crazy um, some of these are. Like this is showing like a stroke. So this guy would have his head cut open um, because of smoking. So that's one way to reduce smoking. Um, Ad bans lower consumption again in the U.S. when they banned smoking ads on TV, and the impact on smoking reduced. So other countries are trying to do bans or at least regulations on the advertising of tobacco products, um, which will really have a positive impact. The next thing was tobacco or taxes discourage tobacco use. A few years ago, Nevada increased their tobacco tax. I guess primarily Nevada did it to raise money for education, but regardless, research has shown that tax increase of about 10% in the price decreases tobacco consumption by about 4% in high income countries and 5% in low income and middle income countries. So the higher price you can make tobacco products, people will smoke less, and ideally it'll have a positive impact on their health. But only 33 countries have introduced taxes on tobacco products that are more than 75% of the retail price. So just go through there. Tobacco tax revenues are on average 269 times higher than spending on tobacco control. So that's like in Nevada. So in Nevada, we put the tobacco tax in place, but we really didn't utilize that money for tobacco prevention programs. We just used it for our educational system. So that's another problem we have to address. So I just wanted to talk about tobacco use in the U.S. and Nevada. So tobacco remains the single largest cause of preventable death. In the U.S., it kills about 500,000 people each year. 41,000 of these deaths from secondhand smoke exposure. Again, it costs a lot of money, 300 billion in illnesses. Uh, so it has a big impact. In 2015, about 15% of adults were current smokers. 75% smoked every day, 24 smoked some days. State spending currently doesn't meet the CDC recommendations. So, and we still have a lot of young people who start smoking and many adult people who want to quit. So, there's a lot of work in health promotion and tobacco prevention. So, we can look at the US prevalence versus Nevada. So in Nevada, men smoke more than women. In the U.S., it's still men a little bit higher than women. In Nevada, the age range most likely to smoke was 25 to 44. For the U.S., it's the same, but Nevada's rates are a little bit higher for that group. And then if you're lower income, you're more likely to smoke. Again, then if you look at race and ethnicity, so Nevada only had it broken down by African American, Hispanic, or white. So we can see that black non-Hispanics had the highest rate, 27. Hispanics were 14, and then whites were 17. And then if we look at the overall U.S., African or American Indians had the highest rates, then multiple races, then blacks, and then whites were about equal, white non-Hispanic. And education also impacts your educational level. if you went to college, chances are you don't smoke as much as someone who only graduated high school. Um, Adolescents, so this is a big target group for health promotion campaigns because if we can stop them from ever starting smoking, then you know they'll be healthy their entire life. Once they start smoking, it's really hard to quit smoking once you start due to the addictive nature of nicotine and tobacco. So if we could get them to never start smoking, that's the best outcome. Um, and nearly 9 out of 10 cigarette smokers first tried smoking by age 18, so they're starting before, when they're teenagers. Each There's more than 3,200 youth 18 years and younger who take their first cigarette each year, and 2,100 young adults become daily cigarette users each year. So, so all these slides are showing that people who are going to start smoking, they start middle high school, and then they continue using. So the e-cigarettes are a big growing sector of the tobacco industry, and it's really uh, the the tobacco product of choice for middle school students and high school students and even college students now. So these data are kind of old, but um, 5.3% of middle school students have tried it, 16% of high school students, and that's probably even a lot higher now. And then hookah use, smokeless tobacco like chewing tobacco. So this is for 2015, and it just shows that males were more likely to use it. This is high school student survey. But again, the main thing these kids are using now is the e-cigarettes or vape, whatever you want to call it. So CDC makes recommendations for their tobacco prevention programs for youth. And again, some of these are the same from the other prevention guidelines. You want higher costs for the tobacco products, so increase taxes, prohibit smoking in indoor areas. You want to make it harder for them to smoke. If I have to leave my friends and go smoke outside by myself, maybe I'll be less likely to smoke. Raise the minimum age of tobacco products to 21. So California has done this and a few other states. So that's a big step. A lot of states are going to try to do TV, radio ads that target youth, showing them how bad smoking is, and really that the data on e-cigarettes really isn't conclusive yet, and it probably still is bad for their health. The community programs at school and colleges that teach people and provide tobacco-free environments, stuff like that. So in Nevada, an average price for a pack of cigarettes is $6.50. So the tax for a 20 pack, so each pack is about $2 or per pack. So every pack we sell, the state collects this money and they use it for basically for education. Um, the Southern Nevada Health District, that's our health department for Clark County. They have a tobacco prevention program, and they offer cessation services, help people quit smoking, and they do some other stuff. So take a look at that link, and it'll show you all the stuff that the health department offers, um, which is a good service for people in Las Vegas, Clark County. Uh, but the big thing, other thing I wanted to talk about is the Nevada Clean Indoor Air Act, which most states have a clean indoor air act. You can't smoke indoors, period. But Nevada has these, um, exceptions for the casinos. So standalone bars, taverns, saloons, uh, if people under 21 can't go, they can smoke.